Kembo, natata Nzambi Yamazulu. All Kembo to Tata Nzambi Mama NDOMBE. I honor and acknowledge the 7 archangels, the 4 creatures, the 42 judges, and our elevated Bakulu of the light. This is a special broadcast on today. The subject, uniting the Messiahs, the Africans in the diaspora, and the Africans, our brothers and sisters on the continent. Now is the time for unity. This is a call for unity. And I am honored to have a panel. And I purposely selected these individuals to be on this panel because they are from Africa. And we being in the diaspora, we need to show unity. So on the panel, we have Elder Jabulani. We have our brother Nkosi Silverback Congo. We have our queen sister. I call her my queen daughter, Matinda Ashalina. And our other queen sister, Lizzie. And I want to welcome you all, Matondo Masaka, for being on this panel. I thank you so much. I will give way to you to give some open words. Either one can go first. I don't know if you're talking, Ashalina.
No, I was smiling.
Oh. You have anything to say, just to, speak to the listeners?
It is regarding us uniting, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Well,
yes.
Just greeting the people right now. Just to greet them, just to say hello, introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. So CME to all the Isolele that have gathered. I am Matinda, my Kikongo name. Ashalina is a made-up name that my dad named me. And I live in Cape Town. I've been here for 25 years, born in Luanda, Angola. Yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing a few things.
All right. All right. Beautiful. Queen Lizzie.
Siemi Mbolo Makadi. My name is Lizzie. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I am honored to be here. It's an exciting topic. Matondo, thank you.
Oh, Matondo. Nkosi Silverback.
CME family, CME. It's a pleasure to be in this group discussion. I look forward to hear many different perspectives. Though I have my own framed my thoughts in the diaspora as one who has lived among our brothers and sisters here in the United States. Mm-hmm. And I look forward to the unity and what's going to come out of this meeting. It's a very, very important meeting. I don't only want to have discussions, I want activity to take place afterwards. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Base, Base. And our elder Jabulani.
Yemi family, this is Jabulani from South Africa. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the discussion. Unity, actually unity is about Ubuntu. So, and without unity, we won't be able to achieve what we need to achieve. So it's a very critical discussion. It's in the center of my heart. That is why I even wrote that 2 pages just to send it to you, saying I've presented something that was very challenging, but on top of it, at some point, there must be decisions that must be made. There must be actions that are taken. So I like what my brother Silverback Congo is saying. Actions must be taken. Time for talking has come to an end. Now is action time. Thank you.
Yes, Base. And it is time for action. Enough talk. It is time for action. Hey, my queen just came.
We can see the smile.
Yeah, she makes my heart go pitter patter.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Sammy.
Yes, we were talking, Brenda and I, this morning, and she was just kind of going in about the discussion. And one thing that she had said, and I'm going to ask her to just go ahead and kind of talk about that a little bit, how we have to expose what the evil entities have done to cause us to be separated, the lies that they have brought forth. So I will turn it over to her.
Just telling him, and I've shared this with some of the family on the continent, some of you all, that you can ask practically any of us.
We can't hear properly.
I was saying that you can ask practically any of us in the diaspora, African Americans, that is. I don't know about our brothers and sisters in Brazil and the other places in the islands, but over here in America, we were taught that our family on the continent hate us. You can ask any of us, and they will tell you that we were told this. And I was telling Nzambi how I remember talking with a young lady. I do believe she was from Nigeria here in America. And I asked her, this was some years ago, why do you hate us? Because this is what we were taught. And she told me why. And basically her answer was, you all were the Josephs, but you didn't come back for us. Meaning Joseph was taken into captivity to another land, which we were, but he rose up to power as we have over here in America. Still, despite our hardships and what we have encountered, we still yet rose, even though we're not where we're supposed to be. We rose above all the atrocities that we encounter. And it's because of who we are, what's in our DNA, what's in our blood. We know that. No one can keep us down, But anyway, I also learned from those of you on the continent that we have established a relationship with, that you all were told the same thing as well, that we hated you. So I was telling Nzambi that they played us. They played us against one another to the point where when we look at our family on the continent, at one point, well, really, I still didn't even dislike them when they told us that. I just wanted to know why they didn't like us, because we knew that we came from Africa. So that didn't put any hate in my heart. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm quite sure a lot of our family members that didn't. They just wanted to know and understand, why did our family on the continent dislike us when we were the ones that our ancestors were the ones that were taken from off the land and brought into a land that is not ours and stripped of everything that is inherent about us and created us to be something that we're not, you know. So we just wanted to know why, but we found out that there was a lie that they told them and us to pit us against one another, and it worked, because you see, we have that dual spirit amongst us to this day that we're trying to destroy, and it is being destroyed, but it's because of the enemy. You know, the enemy tactic, the main tactic is to divide and conquer. That is his number one tactic, divide and conquer. So if his number one tactic is to divide, then ours should be unity, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Yes. So I will ask this question to our panel. And that question is this: we know that we must unify. We have to unify. So my question is, what does unity look like to you? What does unity look like to you? So I leave the floor open. Or do you want me to call names?
Call on the names. Call on the names. Yeah. Call on the names.
We'll start with you, my brother. Silverback.
But I'll tell you this. I'm gonna answer I'm gonna answer it backwards. Let's look at what is, because you know, in order for us to aspire to plan, to coordinate what we want, we have to look of all the things that have been done to us, right? We have to understand every branch of that has been institutionalized to keep us divided. Okay. One of the reasons why Marcus Garvey was killed, and I'm actually sitting down in a Marcus Garvey park right now as I speak to you.
Wow.
One of the reasons why he was killed is because he wanted to take books back home. He wanted to bring evidence back home. He wanted our people to connect with our people back home. Not just to bring our people back home, he wanted to bring information of what took place during the transatlantic slave trade. Okay?
Yes.
So we have to dissect every form, whether it is history, school today, religion, society overall. We have to dissect. And as we do those things, there's going to have to be a division, not unity. There's going to have to be a division first. We have to draw a line in the sand, because there's a lot of Negroes who walk around here who hate self and they hate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? Those are the people we have to dissect first. I personally have removed a lot of people. Okay? I have been going in battle with it. Listen, some of you might be saying you're awakening now. I've been awakened since I was a child. Okay? And this place has not been good for me.
Yeah.
I've never been happy, never been at peace. I've been suffering, and my family overall has been being attacked. We've been attacked. Okay? I have a lineage. I'm gonna tell you guys later on. It's not something I can just tell you guys. I can just tell you. I have a lineage. This is why I know why I'm being attacked. Or my family is being attacked. But I'm gonna tell you, family, we have to remove the Judases in our midst.
And get
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the first thing we have to deal with first. I don't want to
Yes.
talk about free. I don't want to talk about unity until I know who I'm dealing with. Okay, as a people. And when you are down and out, people show you who they are.
Yes,
And I look for that. I look for that. Okay,
Mhm.
2 failed marriages, and I'm very, very happy. The Father has shown me, because I've got to tell you, I was naive for many years. Naive for many years.
Mhm.
But in order for us to talk about peace, unity, and all the good stuff, we got to get dirty first.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with you, my brother. We do have to identify those that are the Judases, because those are the
Yes.
ones that help cause us to be in the state that we're in. Those that know our true history of what really happened with the transatlantic slave trade, not a European centric concept of the transatlantic slave trade and what happened to us on the continent and how we got here. Not their story, but our story.
Yes.
And we know that it was the Judases that rose up and worked with the colonizers that allowed us and our royals to be killed.
Mhm.
And they still have the bones to this day, and then took away, you know, their children and many of us over here in the diaspora brought us over here. That is how I got here. I was able to trace my lineage back. That I'm the 7th generation that's been here. That's a long time, you all. My grandfather and grandmother's the 6th. They said they have them identified. I can't find any information on them besides the fact that they're referred to as Mother Africa and Father Africa, because they were taken at a young age. The information I found from off the continent of Africa. And you all don't know how painful that is, just to know that an ancestor of yours was brutally taken from their home, from their family and loved ones, to a place unknown and foreign to them, and treated as less than animals, never to see their homeland again, never to see their loved ones again. And then people want to try to tell us that we need to get over it, we need to forget, when science have taught us that memory is passed on in our DNA. So that memory, that trauma, that pain. So when he said we have to dissect, yes, we have to dissect, even go inside and deal with the pain, the hurt, the trauma that we feel, that cause us to act a certain way. We need to look at all of that, because we have to heal. You can't rebuild nothing and make it great when you're still hurting on the inside. You have to be healed from the inside out. I'm not on the panel, so I'm going to shut my mouth.
All right. I tell you, yes. Oh my goodness. Queen.
I would like to add to that. Silverback Congo and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about how our people are psychologically damaged.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We're damaged. You know, fear come up in us, and we're thinking, where did that come from? It comes from our DNA, and that we have been damaged for so many generations. That's why it's a must that, like Brenda said, we reach into ourselves and allow him, Mother and Father, to heal our hearts, heal the psychological damage that we've been through, because we sat in America and watch hate come through the TV. Nigga this, nigga always getting slapped, nigga always getting disrespected. The cartoons made fun of us. Everybody made that's psychological damaging to a child.
Yes, it is.
Growing up with just hate, even coming through the television, and then go out into the world, hate being put at you as a child. You know, and I trace my ancestry back. My great grandfather was a slave.
Yes.
And his father was a slave. So like Silverback Congo said, we have to, one, know who we labor with, two, and we have to know people by the spirit.
It's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Because the spirit will show you when someone is not right.
Yes. That's true. That's true.
And the spirit will say, turn them off, turn them away. They're up to no good. So this is a great panel. I think talking about it is the first step, because we cannot trust everybody.
No, we can't.
Especially the ones that look like us, we cannot trust. You know,
Those
and
Judases.
some people will not let go of their colonization and their westernized living to save the lives of themselves. They won't do it. We already know that. They won't do it.
And Mama, your grandparents were not slaves. We're not slaves. They were enslaved. We're royals. We're royal.
Yeah.
priesthood.
Well, hey, listen, on the book, on the paper that I got from the census, it said slave.
Oh yeah, I see it,
So
because
I'm
there was
just
no
saying,
one here when I got here, you know. So no problem.
I understand what you're saying. We know we weren't we were enslaved, but you know, we were beaten and raped, and just like Joseph was sold to the slaves, we weren't sold to the slave. We were snatched, killed, and taken to a distant land, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the unity, what I find here in Africa, and I talk to a lot of young men, a lot of young women on purpose, knowing our history is the beginning of unity. Because they don't know the history of America, what we went through in America, and they don't know the history of what Africa went through. And when they find out the history of all of the children, they are shocked, righteous indignation, and they get angry. It's time for us to get angry for what has been done to us.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes. That's
just
the
like
first
in
step
Georgia,
of healing.
You jump on that old man by himself, because we know white people are cowards. So 3 get off the boat and jump on him. They swam, they came. It's time for us to stand up and be angry.
Yes.
For what was done to our ancestors and to us today.
Yes.
I'm angry what they did to my grandparents and my great grandparents.
I am too.
I'm angry.
That is why we are standing up. You know, their DNA is in us. You know,
that's right.
And I'm going to try to cut this short. You know, but Brenda was reading something not long ago, and it was talking about how our ancestors who were brought over and enslaved, how they desired to go back home.
Yeah.
Okay. They desired to go back home, not knowing if they ever would be able to.
And it said that they never gave up hope of returning home. And so I asked Nzambi, what happened? I said, what happened was they gave us a little illusion of freedom. Just, it's an illusion.
It is.
And we got comfortable over here in this land of captivity. And now things are unraveling. And so I think a lot of things are unraveling to make us uncomfortable, because our ancestors want us to remember.
Yes.
What happened to us?
Come on, Brenda.
Remember
Come on, Brenda.
Who you're dealing with.
Come on, Brenda.
Remember where you came from.
Yes.
Remember who you are.
That's right.
Remember.
Come on. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we cannot forget what was done to us.
We can't.
Cannot.
We can't. And that again is a part of healing. It is a part of it.
Yes, that's
hallelujah.
Oh, yes.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Rebecca, you want to continue? You had some good points that you was making that we first got to dissect. You know, when and working in healthcare, when you're dealing with a wound, sometimes you have to what we call do a debride, incision and debride, and get the dead off so that the viable tissue can come forth and healing can start. Continue, my brother.
Yeah, very true, very true. And this is one of the reasons why when we look, you know, I found racism heavy in the labor sector. Okay, before that, when I was going to school, you know, I was going to school amongst my people. High school is the same thing. I got into college. That's when I start to see a little bit more. what racism is really about, white supremacy is all about, right? Because it's an institution. You get to see it in the labor sector way more, where they position you less than the other. You know, when I did my internship upstate New York, I was hired as as an electrical engineering student, and then we also had civil engineers as well. And I remember being inside the factory. They positioned the guy, the white boy, as over the team. I was like, listen, no. He's a civil engineer, and I'm an electrical engineer. There's no way this guy can lead me in any way, because I know my stuff. I knew my stuff. All right. And then that was the beginning of it all, family. Okay. As I'm gonna say right now, you guys might be surprised. That human resources that you have at the job, that's not a human resource. It's not a human resource for us. It's a way for them to put a profile of who you are. Okay, they start in school, obviously. They give you little pink slips here and there. Okay, they create a profile of you, you, to whether you are submissive or you're not. When you get to that employment sector, they have another information about you. Okay, this is how they keep this paper trail. So wherever you go, that information is maintained. Slavery was never ended.
No.
They just transformed it into another way where they can. Because with these parasites, this is what I'm saying. There is no way we can deal with these people. Any Negro is comfortable around white people. I'm not friends with that person. I disconnect myself.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to be friends with my enemy? Listen, I'm gonna deal with you from a distance.
Exactly.
Okay, we can't be friends when you're dealing with these animals, the lower than animals. Okay,
yes,
their way of operation is, now when I say parasite, and a parasite cannot reveal itself. A parasite does not want you to know that it's there. A parasite takes from you where you would never know that it's there. When you know it is there, you're ready to get rid of it. Okay, it's not a parasite if you know where it is.
Yes.
It's a parasite when you do not know. Okay, so this is how they deal with us. They deal from not knowing. They don't want you to know. Okay, they have a code. They speak in code all day. We have to learn to speak in code all day.
All day, yes.
Okay, so we have to dissect all the things that are done to us. Those who are on the continent have to go to the school system and kill that school system.
Yes.
Okay? Listen, there's going to be bloodshed here, my friends. You're either going to die doing the right thing, or you're going to die doing the wrong thing. But you're going to die. Okay? So we gotta get over that. There's a lot of parasites in our midst.
Yes.
That look just like you and me. Those are the first ones we gotta get rid of, because those were the first disobedient ones before the Father. These other entities were never around. Okay? Judgment first comes to us.
Yes,
sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Judgment is us. When the Father's talking about judgment, he's not talking about these entities that he were created to punish us. He's talking about us. Judgment is to those who were disobedient. The children, okay? The children are ones who are going to be rewarded, and the children are ones who are going to be punished as well. But when we are talking about the Father, these other entities don't even, listen, I don't consider them my enemy. My enemy is a person that looks like me and does the wrong thing.
Yes.
Okay, when you're reading that love letter, the Bible you call the love letter, it's talking about disciplining us, punishing us. It's not talking about those. Those other entities means nothing to the Father.
Come on now. Come on.
Make it plain.
All right.
Make it plain.
So we have to deal internally. When the Father says, half of you camp go over here, half the camp go over there, half the camp went and killed the other camp, the other side. Okay, this is how we have to deal with one that we have got to listen. We've got to get rid of people who do not belong to Baba Mungu.
Yes.
Okay, and when I'm talking about us. Our your brother, your cousin, your nephew, even your own son. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it comes down to. This is why, if you don't talk about unity, these are the things that we have to deal with first.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you're sick, you don't say, I'm just gonna take care of this part of the body. No. You want to get rid of that sickness. It's your whole body. It's you. When you want to sick, you want to get rid. You will do anything to get rid of that disease that's inside of you. So we gotta filter the parasites. And I'm talking when I'm talking about parasites, our people will be the first parasites you have to deal with first.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Forget the white man. That's the obvious. Low hanging fruit. Our people, we have to deal with our people. Okay, I'm in a shelter right now. Our people are the ones who I have to deal with first. They always put people that look like us first. We have to deal with us first. There will be no unity if we don't deal with one another first.
Yes.
And then keep the parasite outside.
Yes. Yes. Totally agree. Totally agree.
You know,
all right.
Well said. Well said.
Yes, very well said. First, deal with the us, the Judases.
Yes.
The parasites that looks like us. Deal with them first. Then we can talk about building unity. We can't build upon unity when we have the enemy within. When the enemy is within, then we can be easily infiltrated and destroyed, like what happened to us prior. So that's some good takeaway, Brother Silverback.
Yes, yes, it is. All right. What does unity look like to you? And I will ask Queen Lizzie.
My head is still spinning. I was gonna come here and say, yeah, we need to unite, blah, blah, blah. But after my brother spoke, I'm still stuck. I'm still trying to digest. Like, oh my goodness, I never thought of it that way, that we need to start with us identifying the enemy within us. Because even when you go to war, you study your enemy first.
Yes.
One spoiled fruit can spoil the whole basket. So if we don't deal with that spoiled fruit, if we don't throw it away, it's gonna spoil, everything that we want to do. So, wow, my head is still spinning. He said it all. I have nothing else to say after that. He said it all, and he is so right. It hurts to think that someone that looks like you, we tend to see, like, especially for myself, when I see a melanated person, I'm like so excited. Yeah, my brother, but to know and to realize that he or she might be the very enemy. It's disheartening. It's disheartening even to think that it could be your own son, your brother. It's very disheartening.
It
but
is.
If we need to succeed, like Brother Silverbege said, we need to identify them. And we need to deal with that first.
Yes.
Matondo.
Yes, Motondo. The Bible is coded. I remember telling a friend of mine, because in Christianity, organized religion, they take it for everything for face value in there. And that Bible, I have learned as I have grown in my walk and moved away from organized religion, that book is very esoteric. It is written in code. And if you don't understand the esoteric meaning of it, you end up in Christianity. I mean, so I said that to say in there, it talks about wheat and tares. That's us. The wheat and the tares, they look alike until they mature. When you begin to research about wheat and tares, you cannot distinguish them apart until they both are matured. When they mature, then you will see that there's a difference between the two. Research on wheat and tares.
Yes.
So it talks about not separating until at that certain time, because you don't want to hurt the wheat, thinking that it's a tear. So wait till it mature. We are at that maturity. That's why you see a lot of things going on eternally within us now, because you're able, we are starting able to see, to distinguish those who are the tares among us. Remember, tares and wheat look alike. We look alike. And there's a separation between the wheat and tares, as Brother Silverback has said. So I'm just using this for some, because we still have some people that say they're awake, I'm learning, they still are embellished with the ways of organized religion that was given to us by the colonizers. So remember the wheat and tares story. That is us. We are the wheat. And then you have some that are the tares that are among us. And it says that the tares are going to be what? Burned. So they're going to be destroyed. So what Silverback has just stated, he's just reminding us, first and foremost, what you need to do is identify the enemy within. Once you identify the enemy within, you crush his head. Then everything else is easy.
Wow.
Separate. That's where the separation comes in. Hello. All right. Yes. Queen daughter Ashelina.
Well, a lot has been said. Almost everything has been said. But as I have been observing us, since I have been learning that, yes, like Brother Silva back Congo said that, yes, we know about the Kadiampemba. We know that, but it's our people that I have been observing. So I have been going to classes, and I have the privilege and the honor of having to meet people that come from other parts of Africa. Like I've been engaging with people from Burundi, Rwanda, which is something that had never happened. But I have realized that our educational system, Mama Bantu spoke on knowing our history. Our educational system has corrupted us so badly that people in my class will defend the Kadiampemba. Now, one thing that I'm thankful of now that I'm not old, but I won't say I'm that young. I would say I give thanks to TATA Nzambi that when I was done with high school, I didn't go straight to go and get a college degree, or I am glad, because I know I was sleeping, but I'm waking up.
Yes.
Had I gone straight to college, I would have been gone. I could have been one of those Judas. I truly believe, based on the information that was going to be fed to me from college, because this is what I am dealing with.
Wow.
This is what I'm dealing with. Some of our people are gone because of the educational system. Now, so like Brother Silverback Congo was saying, get rid, observe people. So I've been studying our people. First, there is no love amongst us. There is no love. And if we have no love for us, unity cannot happen. Unity cannot happen without love, because that's one of our languages, love. In our Bantu culture, it's love for one another. And we have lost that. And so I am now, the righteous Bakulus have called me. And often people don't understand, you in Africa, you speak your language, you have an African name. So what's going on? The educational system messed me up. And I tell people all the time, it took the Africans in the diaspora to teach me about me. Yet I live in Africa. I speak African languages.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm glad it happened. So in class, there's a teacher who I've been battling with, to the point where the teacher actually called me, is it violent, like radical? I was compared to the Nigerian woman, and I said, no, it's not about that. When a teacher is giving me information that is wrong about my people, I'm going to correct you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So because of that, the teacher last week was like, and I know that he was referring to me, he was like, Bantu women are this, and comparing me to the Nigerian women. I was okay with that. I said, if you think Nigerian women are radical, try the Congo women. Because I do come across really very firm when it comes to talking about our people and the way history has portrayed us. I'm very loud when it comes to that. And I think people have noticed that. And they see me as being radical because I don't bow down to the information that they give me. So I've stopped asking this teacher for help. I'm like, no, you give me wrong information. Also, you start thinking like them. And I'm like, no. So I'm observing and I'm pointing out, okay, this person, get rid of this one, because there are no help in the awakening that is taking place.
Yes.
So for me, love, I don't see that amongst our people.
Okay, so Brother Silverback said we must first identify the enemy within and deal with him.
Yes.
And then Sister Lizzie, she piggybacked on that and ditto that. And now you come and said that we must restore that love, that Ubuntu spirit is what you're saying, right?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
Mama Brenda.
And also it was mentioned that we need to destroy this educational system that is brainwashing our people, not only on the continent, but here in the diaspora as well. And it's getting worse over here too, because of the things that they're trying to rewrite history. And I was telling somebody, you have to understand, a friend of mine that's still in Christianity, actually, I said, you have to understand that these people plan hundreds of years in advance. I said, so what they're trying to do now is they're working on changing the narrative, changing history again, as they change history for us, because what we're living, the history that we're taught and told, is primarily a lie that they have constructed, prior to us coming. And so now they're doing the same thing for their generations to come, so that they will think, and our children and children would, not our children, but our children would think that slavery didn't exist as it existed, that they actually was a help to us, bringing us off the continent, our ancestors, and helping us to learn, and that we were actually happy over here, when that is a lie from the pits of hell.
Yes.
There's documentation that they targeted our ancestors for their trade. Because America was built off the backs of our ancestors.
Yes, it was.
They did not have those skill set. They could not build it. They could, as a matter of fact, their literature state that because it primarily was in the South, it was all over, but they were primarily in the South, that they couldn't even deal with the heat.
Yes.
They said, well, let's go get these Africans over here that experience the heat basically all year long, primarily, and let's get them. And they targeted them. That's why you see in the Carolinas, they were the ones that dealt with rice. They went and got the ones that were skilled in planting rice, building the railroads, and they targeted us, you all, for our skills. And I was reading something online. It said that the average age of an African, this hit home, that was taken off the continent, stolen, was 14 years old.
Yes.
So they took children. They stole. No, I said, no wonder I hear people on the continent calling us children.
Yes.
Because they still see us as the children, because we were taken away. Our ancestors were taken away, majority of them, as children.
Yes,
still being in the stage of learning about your history and hearing the songs that teach about your history from the going up and down the Nile Valley and Kemet and back and forth. They were still in they did not learn everything. So we are still the children. We don't know everything, but it's interesting that Ashelina made a statement that was very profound. And I don't know if you all paid attention to it. She said, here I am in the land, and I'm paraphrasing, that know the language. But yet it was my brothers and sisters in the diaspora that awakened me.
Yes. Yeah, I caught it.
You know why? Because it's showing how we are one and we're connected, and two, how we need each other.
Yes.
Same here, sister. Same here. I was awakened spiritually to one of my godfathers, African American. You know, so. And then when he was teaching about Congo spirituality, he was like, "This is your stuff."
Yes.
I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, but yes, we were all duped." And this is the thing that I'm going to keep emphasizing to you, Mama Brenda. Just because our brothers and sisters are in the diaspora were enslaved, slavery took over there as well. Slavery was there as well. Okay, so it was a slight. You have to understand. It was a slight tactics, a slight change of tactics. But when you take someone from your home, they have more of a control over you because you're away from home.
Right.
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 You don't know the environment. You don't know the climate that well. Right. So they can take advantage of you a little bit more. But on the land of back home, the strategy was different. It was a gradual strategy. It's a gradual attack on our people, on our elders, on our infrastructure. It was gradual. Okay, they didn't just come there and start enslaving. They came many times over a span of six and this 400 years of slavery. It took them some time. Okay, the books tell you 1600. No. Way before that. Okay. True.
Yes.
They had to take many years. I would say it was longer. It was longer because by the time they understood, remember, we were conquering, not in a violent way, but we were conquering. We were ruling in Rome, ruling in Spain. All those places we were ruling. We were ruling those places. So they knew of us. All those places became dark. It just recently became white. Okay, so they learned us. They learned us. They tactfully learned us until they got very comfortable with our leaders, and this is what they keep. This is why they keep attacking leaders. Okay, the tactics that they've learned from us are the same thing they're doing to our leaders.
Yes.
Okay, the difference is our leaders, when they sent our people all over the other place, other lands, it was to explore and to uplift, to build, to advance.
Yes.
Okay. But their advancement comes with punishment and destruction. It doesn't do what we've done. Okay, this is why we left evidence.
Yes.
But but I learned from we learned from one another. Nobody has. Listen, what I know of the Father is different from what you know of the Father. Everybody has a different piece of the Father.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know the totality. The Father does not allow that. It's not possible. Your mind cannot fathom. Paul had a hard time. Paul was trying to explain these things to us. He had a hard time.
Wow.
You're right. All right. Yeah. Awesome.
Elder Jabulani, he's been patient.
Great conversation, and it's very, very, very powerful because I don't know, maybe I like to speak by words. That's why I wrote everything down. I can see what What I sent is what Silverback Congo is talking about, that there needs to be a requirement to say on what basis are we uniting on. And we know that wisdom is based on love. If whatever we do, if we don't do it from the place of love, there's nothing that we're going to achieve. And even Ubuntu is about love, is about unity. The word Ubuntu is just whatever is mine is yours. When we used to travel from one area to another area, you know, all the families, they will always have an extra plate for somebody who might not be able to reach their destination, and they might want to come and sleep. That's what we used to have. We were never afraid saying there's a stranger that is going to be sleeping in my house. We always had an extra plate. That's is Ubuntu. So, and that has been taken away. And I see even the education system, the way it was set up, they will say, work one-on-one, don't copy. Once you copy, then there's going to be serious consequences. They were attacking us in the mind that working alone, that's what is required. So as a result, we go on in life thinking that I have to succeed by myself. So once you work with others, they say, no, that's not what is required. They moved away this concept of working as a unit, because remember, the Most High gives certain part of a nation certain skills, and then he gives other skills to another part of the nation. I cannot know everything. I cannot be able to know everything, but I have to unite with the different nations to say the nation of agriculture, I need to link with them. The nation of science, I need to link with them. Maybe I'm from the nation of the priest, I need to link with them. Then we combine, you know, we save each other, we serve each other, and ultimately we serve the creator. So they cut that thing, they make us to be individuals. As long as I'm okay, everything should be okay. Then when I'm in trouble, I have to try to find myself to get out. But the thing that we used to build on was my art, which is Ubuntu. Without Ubuntu, we will never be able to defeat them. That's why the first thing that they did to us was to divide us. Once you divide us, that's there's nothing that we can do. We always go up and connect when we are working together. We always defeat them when we work together. That's what they fear the most.
Yes.
Unity. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Beautiful.
Did you have something, Elder, that you wanted to present?
Yeah. I'm not sure everyone who's on this chat, they did listen to what I presented under your channel, Nzambi Zola, because it has been sitting heavy on my heart that the message that I presented was very challenging, and the things that I revealed there, I needed to just to say, with this unity, this is what the Most High is saying. I can just share my screen just to show you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me quickly share my screen.
And to add on to what Elder Jabulani was saying, and it connects, and this is what he was saying in essence too, is that they destroyed family. They did that. They destroyed family. So to take the man out of the home and to tell you that you can't whip your kids, they got to come up with something. Okay? They got to come up with something so that they have control. So to break family up, it destroys Ubuntu.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I heard also that in America, they were encouraging that there will be a support for African women, for Black women, as long as the African man is not in the house.
Yes.
I heard about that. Very, very strange, yeah?
They did that for a reason, Elder.
I grew up with that. I grew up with that.
Yeah, they know the power of some of our people are not ready for the truth, but the truth has to come forth.
It has to come out.
You know,
it has to come out.
These Mundelis, these Kariapimba,
evil spirits,
our scrolls and our information, and they be giving us little tidbits of it here and there. I was reading this book. This lady wrote a book about the Black female, talking about the first God ever existed. The oldest God ever was the Black female that went around Europe and all over the world until the patriarchal system came up and they suppressed it. That is why you see them worshiping Mary, who's not a name. Mary is a title that came from Kimmy, and it means something. I just thank the Most High for my DNA, because they will speak to you and reveal things to you and take you to things, and you be like, these entities. So it is the Black female. She is the one that is the portal. From this realm to bring life, to bring our Bukulus back from the heavenly realm, from Zulu to this realm.
Yeah, definitely.
Her temple is very sacred because she housed the spirit, and she's the portal between the two. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I know a lot of people are not ready for this because we've been brainwashed, but nevertheless, I digress.
No, it's fine. Great digress is absolutely true, because even in the Ankh, they removed the part that is talking about the woman. The woman naturally was not commanded to love. Why? Because a woman naturally loves. So we are the ones, men, who was commanded to love you, because for us it doesn't come naturally. So you will expect that naturally a woman is a savior. So that's why wisdom is the savior. And wisdom is the feminine energy. Okay, so can I share then this just quickly? I might be cut at 7, but I will reconnect again because I forgot to connect my 5G on the UPS. But I might be cut at 7.
Okay.
Because I'm having load shedding, you know. Mama Bantu understands. Okay. I said.
Totally understand.
Yes. I said there should be minimum requirements for the unity to take place. And those requirements, I think they are contained in the first oath. I did send it, saying that those people who will be here just to know what is in the first oath. And if it is not been shared, that it will be shared. And I believe, because what the Ethiopians have done in hiding the Book of Enoch, that we as Bantus, to reconnect to our spiritual knowledge, we should take this book seriously, what is written in it, because it has even been proven by the 364 days solar year that is accurate. So you can see that there is our culture that has been locked up in this book, that we should be encouraged to read it and get the spiritual on it. And another thing that is in my heart, you know, that I like to, in my presentation last time on the 25th of July, I said, you know, those in the diaspora, what my spirit is saying, the Most High says, let's move, let's have that thing, that there needs to be movement into the safe era. But I did read the Book of Enoch as well. If I interpreted it correctly, it says that wherever the elects are, they will be protected. Thus, they do not need to move anywhere. But that's what my interpretation. Remember, this is a spiritual thing that you need to take it to your altar. Because in Enoch 56:8, it says, in those days, Sheol shall be open. It's talking about the great judgment. Sheol shall be open her mouth, and they shall be swallowed up in it and perish. Thus Sheol shall swallow up the sinners in the presence of the elect ones. We are the elect ones. So, but remember, you still have to pray about it. I only have this one that is in the Book of Enoch that is saying you can be safe wherever you are. Do you understand? But at the same time, I've got the others like Baruch 2 Esdras, Revelations 14:12. If I interpreted them correctly, there is a specific land that the elect ones must be at during the great judgment. And unfortunately, there are many in these ones. But we know that all our books, they were tampered with. But on this one, we've got 2 Baruch 29:1-2. It says, Yahweh answered and said, that which will happen at that time bears upon the whole earth. Therefore, all who live will notice it. For at that time, I shall only protect those found in this land at that time. Then you've got 2 Baruch 41. It says, the last ruler who is left alive at that time will be bound, whereas the entire host will be destroyed, and they will carry him on Mount Zion, and my anointed one will convict him of all his wicked deeds, and will assemble and set him all the works of his host. And after these things, he will kill him and protect the rest of my people who will be found in the place that I have chosen. Then you've got the other one, 2 Baruch 71. It says, the Kodesh land will have mercy on its own and will protect its inhabitants. We know what happened in 2020. They came with their lab-made virus, but there was the least death in Africa.
Yes, yes.
You've got 2 Esdras 9:7 says, everyone who will be saved will be able to escape by his works of faith, will be preserved from the sad perils, and will see my salvation in my land and within my holy borders, which I have sanctified for myself. Then in Revelation, it says, the winepress will be trampled outside the city and blood will come out of the winepress. I think as we discussed, since I have this heaviness in me, that are we supposed to move and try to unite and try to make sure that there's movement, we move and start to, you know, other people enter from Kenya, other will enter from DRC, other from South Africa. All of these, because it's a spiritual thing, must be put before your altar and let your spiritual team confirm. Because for me, I value the Book of Enoch higher than other books because of the least corruption. I do have in it that the elect one can be protected wherever they are, but at the same time, just put it on the altar and see. And on what I've presented, I will move on as if everybody has heard what I've presented on the 25th of July. It's the last page. It says, in YouTube, which was released on 25th of July under Nzambi Zola and Jabulani, the Bull of my heart, I made a big claim that the Most High has said, you are the commander-in-chief for the Sons of Light, based on the claim that the 4 statements must be true. One of them is that, first of all, I am a madman, and the so-called light is evil. Or second, I do have the light, but I am rushing things. I need to slow down. Or third, there is another way that Africans can be saved, and there's a good way why it has not worked so far. The last one is that I am truly coming from Zulu, and the instructions that I've made, they are urgent and serious. Therefore, we have to act on it. So, but this has to come to you from your altar, based on what, because I did receive some communication that the things that I've said there, they might be urgent. The time frame is too urgent, but it has to come from you, from your altar, to say what is the Most High saying about the instructions that I said, because I believe the crashing of the system must be done by the Messias, and the Messias are you and me. The system will not crash itself. Once we allow the system to crash itself, then we are going to be collateral damage. We have to crash the system. We have to put systems in place that are going to make us, as the Africans, to reunite. I heard Silverberg what he's saying. The education system must be crashed. The health system must be crashed. We have to set up our own system, and my spirit is saying this message is urgent. But on your side, your spirit might say, no, Jabulani is rushing things. There is a prophecy in a prophecy of Thoth. It says, the pious shall be deemed insane. So I know certain things that I might wish that it should happen. Some people might say it's insane. What you are expecting is insane. But I don't mind having that title as long as I know.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I heard that you spoke very true what you've said. I have had a vision where the earth swallowing up wicked people, you know, and also as far as the information is not old. The father's first information was correct. The father's information is going to be the same yesterday to tomorrow and forever. His words will remain the same. It doesn't change. It was
doesn't change his mind.
infiltrated. Yes. Yes, it was infiltrated. They came and they infiltrated our systems.
Yes.
So you're right. It has to be restored. That's what's going to take place. Is the restoration of what was already in place.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The earth is going to replenish and it's going to remove the filth. Okay, the filth is going to be removed. So yes, but we, as far as unity, we just have to acknowledge what was like you said, you have to bring it to the altar, to your altar. Your spirit's going to tell you. It's going to instruct you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to, and also we have to have rituals that help us to be good listeners.
Yes, yes.
A lot of our people are not listeners. I see good people. I see good people all over the place, but they don't have the peace. First of all, they don't have the system that fosters that reconnection. Okay, so we have to return to our ways, our rituals. There was nothing wrong with our rituals. Okay, they just came and deceived us. Nothing was wrong. You know,
they were power. They were power. Yes. They were our power.
Yes.
They were our power.
Yes.
You know, Brother Silverback, you're correct. They have so many things that distract us from listening to the Most High and our righteous Bakulus. You know, people so much on the internet, social media, you're so distracted till you can't hear the voice. You can't hear from that other realm. I was out walking the other day and I turned off my phone, but I had my earbuds in, so nobody knew that I was just walking and looking and listening to the birds and looking at the sky. And I began to hear, and I heard a voice say, "God's create. What have you created?" I just began to have a conversation within. So I've been saying lately, you have to go within, because we said that the creator is inside of us. Our Bakulus are inside of us. So if you want answers, you want direction, you go within. And they were speaking to me about some things and giving me some clarity on some things. And I said, after that conversation,
good morning.
After that conversation, I said, our ancestors, they don't play.
Yeah.
They don't play. When they have something for you to do, they want you to do something in this realm to help us, Muntu, and you've been chosen. They don't play. So the things that they were speaking to me and saying to me, and then I was saying back to them, they was giving me clarity on some things. And it was basically about what has happened to us as a people. But they were making it individual for me, because it starts first with the individual. Elder, were you finished or did you have more? That.
Yeah, you got more.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, you can go ahead, Elder.
Okay. The last thing I said is that we, as the Most High that who have chosen, there are certain activities that must be done through spiritual warfare. For example, if we get a ship, for example, that brings our people from the diaspora, then we go to the king of the Zulus and request the land to be allocated to them. And if he refuses, we need to put him on the altars for execution by clearly stating our case against him. So we must understand it is a warfare. There are certain people who have sold their soul to Satan. So they are working for Satan. So if we will reconnect to our identity, when we come back, if somebody has, the Most High say, I need to return to Africa, and they say, I'm returning to Africa, we have a king that we identify. We say, can you please allocate for us land? If he refuses, we tell him, I was taken here. It was a long time ago, but I don't know which specific, but I am Zulu. Remember, Zulu is heaven. Yeah. We are Zulus. Or I am Mukongo. Mukongo is truth, is our father. Or I am Bantu, which is the combination of the mother and the father, and two is Zulu. So if we go to our kings and tell our kings, I need a land to be allocated. I need to be sitting to rebuild here.
Yes.
So we should not expect that during the warfare there shall be no force. At some point there should be force. There should be cases that we put at the altar.
Yes.
And at the same time, the second one I said, we must rebel against the laws that limit us. For example, if we can derive economic benefit by insuring our cars by ourselves, but the country's laws prevent us from achieving this, then we'll have to rebel by going ahead with whatever we believe that can benefit us.
Yes, my elder, yes. Sorry. Yes, my elder, I agree 1,000%.
So I'm having a quote from a 35-year-old Ibrahim Traore, a president of Burkina Faso. He says, I do not have pity a slave that refuses to rebel. So we, certain things that we believe can assist us, we shall not be able to say, the boss won't allow that. If we know it's going to help us, we go ahead and we do it. All human messiah must avoid the following at all costs: fear, blood, individualism, which is FBI. I say rise, Bantu, rise.
So elder, you avoid blood. Can you expound on that a little bit more about that? We know about avoiding fear, and you talked about already individualism, how they cause us to just focus on self and to work for self. So can you expound on the blood part?
On the blood part, we as Africans, we were not spilling blood. We did not build our kingdom based on blood. So whenever we were in trouble, for example, there was no food generation in the land, we will go to the gods and request permission to kill. And then when we kill, we make sure that the animal is killed as fast as possible. Yes. And then we'll speak to the gods and say, we are going to fix our problem. Maybe there was a sin in the village that we were not aware of. Maybe there was a innocent blood that was spilled in the village. Then our priest will check who has brought sin within the camp, that we don't have enough rain, now we have to kill to eat. It was never our culture to be cruel before we eat, because we are gods. When we are God, you are merciful, not only to human, but also to animals. So that's why I'm talking about that blood, because when we raise our hands to the Most High, we need not to have hands that have blood.
Yeah.
When we raise our hands, we must have hands that are clean, so that the Most High does not look away. Because if you come to the Most High, you are cruel, you are crying about others who are cruel, then the Most High will say, but you are also cruel. I'm not saying we have never eaten meat. We did. But we were asking permission for it when there's issue in them.
When there was an issue, you said?
Yeah, when there was an issue, for example, there's no rain, we did not have enough food, then we had to kill. So, but before we kill, we had to ask for permission. We don't just kill.
So what you're saying is our ancestors ate from what came from the earth, from Mama NDOMBE, from what they said,
Mama NDOMBE, from the ground. From the cow, we're getting its strength, we're getting its milk. From the goat, we're getting its milk because the goat is mixing the herbs for us. From the pigs, we're getting them to eat the dirt so that it creates the manure for us. From the chicken, we get the eggs. You know, we were always avoiding blood. And it's not Jabulane's theory. You can search it for yourself. Even Mahat, the 42 laws of Mahat.
Oh, I know.
One of them, it says, I value all life as sacred.
No, I believe you. I know, because in a lot of those that are awakened, especially on here, many of them have turned away from meat.
Yeah.
And
that's not.
So
plant-based.
Yes. I've been doing. I've been juicing and doing smoothies. I did that for 3 days. What did I fix? Something and it just didn't agree with me and Nzambi. And he said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It doesn't agree with us anymore. So our spirits are telling us, our flesh is telling us,
leave it alone.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I feel, and I noticed when I was doing the smoothie and the juice, as a matter of fact, when you saw me drinking, this was one of them. It's OJ that I and celery I put to the juicer. I noticed I wasn't drinking a lot of water. My son was like, you need water. I say, you really should be getting your water from your fruits, which is, I do believe, the H2O3, which is higher than the H2O2, which we drink. And I noticed I wasn't even drinking any water. It was because I was getting what I needed from the fruits. And I just have to realize, wait a minute, I'm not drinking any water. So Elder Jabulani, what you're saying is correct. Our spirits can bear witness to what you're saying, and especially what is going on now with how they're even creating meat now in laboratories. So that's even worse.
Yes, yes. But remember, everything, pray about it. If it's confirmed, like that's when, like, you need confirmation. Yes. Because we are not in a religion. We are in spirituality.
Exactly.
Spirituality. Yeah.
You have connection with your mother and your father, your creator.
Exactly.
They can confirm all of these things.
Yeah.
Yes, we just had this conversation this morning, me and Nzambi, saying that, you know, people need to go to, you know, their, like you said, to the Most High, their ancestors, and ask about even where to go on the land, when to go on the land, and to help them on the land. And should I go with this person or that person? What you direct me, because we can understand that like you said, we're in spirituality, not religion. And we see the brother hand, and we're going to get to him next, and we're going to get to some others too with questions, since the panel is complete, and get to some questions that they may have for the panelists as well. So they will direct us, and they will guide us. They're here for us. They're here to help us. They don't want to see us fall and falter. So when we go to them, those of the light, they're going to give you what you need. They're going to give you the direction, the wisdom, the guidance. So you go to them, but because we have been conditioned to go to a man, quote unquote, a man to get direction in Christianity, the preacher, who they claim is the shepherd of your soul. That's what they say. Yeah. That's what they say in Christianity. Now, y'all know those that was in church, you know, that's what they say. You need a shepherd over you. You need a head. And I asked somebody, I said, well, who's the head over that head?
Exactly.
That's what is happening. And this manipulation comes from there. Where you knock yourself out from being a god or a messiah. You must understand that we were operating as gods and messiahs. That's why you are able to get direct information from the Most High. Yes, we will learn from one another, but from one another is first-hand revelation. You must only operate with second-hand revelation, which is going to your altar, to your creator.
Yes.
Yes. Very important. Very important.
All right. We see that there's a hand raised, and we want to acknowledge him. I don't know your name, so I'm gonna call you Brother Motorola. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
We can't hear you. We can't hear.
He's trying to unmute.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hello, Bayete.
Bayete.
So I'm Dream Energy, and I've been communicating with Elder Jabulani and Brother RV. And first off, I just want to say I'm grateful to So Nini Nanini for connecting me with you. I've been watching you all for over a year or so, and it's just amazing. Jabulani's call, I felt it, and I'm just so grateful to be in the presence of family.
Oh, we're honored to have you, my brother. Welcome.
Not to have you, energy.
So my question is, you know, I understand I got into the session late because, I don't have a home right now, and just the way I'm moving around in my car is doing the best I can every day. So I was a little late to the meeting. I didn't get to hear the beginning of it, but I sent a letter to Elder Jabulani too, actually. One and both were in response to his teachings from the Zulu has suffered much violence, and I didn't. And I haven't understood whether or not that was addressed yet. Like, how will we move forward with presenting to these cruise liners and the holding companies the information about letting us who would like to go back to Mbo to go back to Mbo.
I was in receipt of that letter as well. Brother Arby had forwarded to me, and yes. It actually it empowered me. It inspired me. You know, so let me tell you, Matondo Masaka, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the energy. And I had said on one of the videos that we did, I don't know if Elder Jabulani was on, I think he may have been, but I had said that we do need to reach out. We do need to send letters to these cruise lines. And, you know, if you can find the owner of the cruise line, send him email and tell him we were removed from off the continent of Africa, our ancestors, and they were taken. They didn't ask to go. They were taken by ship and brought into the diaspora. And because they were brought into the diaspora by ship, we shall return by ship. That is what is stated in Deuteronomy 28.
Yes.
That we shall return by ship. So with that said, fulfill the prophecy. Fulfill it.
I feel that the process will be very similar to Moses helping the people out of Egypt, right? I think that we'll make the initial contact. There'll be them fighting back against it. Mm-hmm. My thing is, what I'm kind of looking at is I understand the power of intercessory prayer. You know, it's like if we can find a group of people that back us as we're approaching these holding companies and these cruise liners and prayers, many hours of the day, in agreement to us breaking these walls down, I feel like we will definitely get through. I don't mind, you know, I found all of the CEOs to the companies, all the shipping companies, I have all their contact information. I was just waiting to have this session with you all to determine as a unit move forward. So I'm good to go on any and all of that. I also was thinking about perhaps on, like, I don't have a YouTube. I mean, I'm not a social media type person. I'm becoming more so with the information, with the enthusiasm behind getting this message out to us Bantu in the diaspora. So I was thinking, is there a particular kind of a way that we can form a message on a social media site to make sure that goes out on TikTok and Twitter and all of the sites out there, speaking to the populace as well as to the companies? So the two letters that I sent, one is to the populace and, you know, those that be listening, one is certainly to the company. I'm wondering if you think that would be a good idea, just to start making maybe a daily message go out to Bantu people concerning us getting on ships and bringing this awareness forward.
You know, it's been a lot of people that have talked about this and have seen dreams. It's even somebody that's a preacher that's still in Christianity that talks about this and about this place falling. So I've heard, I myself have even had dreams of being on ships and leaving, several dreams on ships leaving. So it's so many people that are having these dreams about ships. So I don't know, it's something significant about it. So our people are aware, you know, we can continue to push it, of course, but they are aware. Because I've seen different ones talking about the visions and the dreams that they've had.
Yeah. So what do you think about proceeding with the message? Like maybe we'll address it like once or so, or just focus more with the cruise liners and the holding companies, getting them to.
Well, I tell you what, we can discuss that offline since we're talking about the unity now, and we can discuss that further offline about how we are to proceed with approaching that concerning the ships. How about that? Does that sound okay?
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, those who are listening, okay, on YouTube, on Facebook, I know that they will be interested in being a part of this as well. Yes. So reach out to me. We're going to put this thing together.
Good. You know, I tried finding your contact information. I found Aubrey's. I couldn't find any way. That's how I ended up contacting him first. So I would love to have your contact information.
Oh, it's not. It should be on the YouTube channel.
When I go to the YouTube channel, each access to you was a dead end. It wouldn't allow me to. Yeah, there's no way I could make communication. So yeah, I came through Zoom instead of Nzambi.
Okay, I will take a look at that and see what's going on.
Then. And I'll make sure that you get that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So
and you've answered the question. It's so nice again to be in the presence of my family.
You know, if you stay on after the this Zoom session is over, then we can talk about your plans and other people's plans about talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't sign off when they say, okay, you know, this is over or whatever they say. Don't sign off.
It ain't over.
That's right.
It ain't over. All right, family. Getting back to the nitty-gritty of our discussion today. We're talking about unity, Ubuntu, and Ma'at. And we have been told that we first need to identify the enemy within. We need to destroy the educational system, and we need to restore love, and we need to go to the altar about our return home, or what to do, where to go, where to be. So these are some good information that have been given to us. And I just want, before we go to any questions that we have for our panelists today, or any question in general, you know, I was looking up the word unity, which we know that is a English terminology, what they call the Indo-European word. So it comes from the Latin meaning unus. Y'all know uno. Y'all play, many of you played that game uno. We know uno means one. You have one card left and you say uno. So uno means one, unus mean one, and that is where the terminology of the word unity, uni, comes from. And it just simply means just that, oneness. So when we talk about unity, we're talking about oneness. So I'm going to take you back to the scripture, to the Bible, because we know that a lot of things in the Bible was taken from our scrolls. It says that two cannot walk together unless they what? Agree. So that's oneness. And so that is what Brother Silverback was saying. We have to identify those that do not agree. In other words, that don't have the same mind as us, the same heart desires as we do. So you cannot walk together unless you agree and have that unity. So we first have to identify that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that about unity. It means just simply a state of being one. And you can't be in a state of one when you have somebody really in the background amongst you that's plotting and planning against you. That's not unity. That's not love. That's not Ubuntu. That's not exhibiting the principles of Ma'at, which we have learned that we have lost all of those things and it has to be restored. Yes. So those of you that have questions, is now your opportunity to ask even comments that you have or whatever pertaining to this discussion on unity. Oh, Mama Nicholas, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mama Brenda. CME, everyone.
CME.
What came to me while I was thinking about all of this is the importance of self-love. I think self-love has to play an important part if there's going to be unity, because we've been separated, and that self-love will come from a knowledge of who we are, our identity, a knowledge of who we are, an appreciation of who we are. And because then we'd be able to love those who look like us and those who are like us. But that has been replaced with a false one, because sometimes I look at there are some comedies and different shows from the continent, I look at them sometimes, and it always pains me when I see the ladies in wigs and that sort of thing. Because it always sticks out for me that when they are well dressed, they have to have on the wig. If they are in the natural hair, it's because they are playing the role of a servant or something like that. So I think that the self-love is really, really important. They've taken that away from us, given us a love for somebody else, so that we think others are better than we are. So, and if we have that self-love, then we'll be able to love those who are like us, and then it will be a little easier for us to be able to come together with them.
So true.
Yes.
So true. Oh,
Beautiful.
so true. Self-love is very important because that have been stripped from us.
Yes.
And we have been taught like our great ancestor who's going on now, Malcolm X, who taught you to hate your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Right,
Who
right,
taught
right.
you to hate the kinkiness of your hair? Who taught you to hate who you are?
Yeah.
Who taught you this, people? It brought you a standard. This is Brenda 101, and brought you a standard other than your own to esteem.
Right.
You are the God that they bow down to and worship. Who taught you this? I remember I am the only Ubuntu on my team. And I said, I'm gonna dress in my wrap. And we talk about, Mama Nicola was talking about how we think the long stringy hair is beauty. It's not. So I put my wrap on. That's when I got the compliments. Now that we're wearing our wraps and embracing who we are, Mama Nicholas, what we see happening, y'all?
They're doing this, trying to do the same thing.
Trying to wear why?
Thing. Because
what I tell you that our ancestor told me, it said when I was walking, God's create. So that's a trend that was it wasn't a trend, but we started it as a trend over here in the diaspora, going back to wearing our wraps. And so they want to pattern after us. Why? Because we are the gods. Yeah. We are the ones that was given dominion of the earth, the Ubuntu. If their own science teach that the oldest beings on earth is Ubuntu, then everything that came about came from who? Us. Ubuntu.
Yes.
Us.
We are the creators.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are right, Mama Nicholas. We need to embrace who we are, because when you look at the reason why our hair even grows differently, you wouldn't want to put anything on your hair like that. All the weaves and stuff, and they even knowing what they do with this hair. A lot of them from India, they dedicate those hair that they cut. They dedicate that hair to their gods, and you putting it on your head.
Yeah.
Your head, where it's the antenna to help you connect to your God.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
They do the same thing in Africa too. I mean, they're wearing the wigs and stuff, trying to look like those evil entities. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say to you all, family, they try to say that we are sane. No, we're not. We're all of us are different here on earth. All of us have our unique identity, our unique characteristics. So even our chemical makeup is different. The lab values over here in America is not even based upon us, but it's based upon European, and ours could be lower or higher. And you have to understand and know this, because they will tell you something is wrong with you, have you running all kinds of tests, when inherently your level as a Ubuntu may be lower or higher than the standard that they have, because they did not create those standards off of your genetic makeup. And this is true. I've dealt with this, not only with myself, but also with Nzambi. I'm like, look, y'all running all this tests, but in some African Americans, the numbers are low inherently. Oh yeah, you're right. And you're running all these tests. So let's cut to the chase and stop taking our money. It is what it is. It's low. And we know that this is the norm for some of us. It is what it is.
Yes.
And so we have to understand that they look and say that we're oh, the BMI is this. Inherently, our bone structure is bigger. So we're going to weigh more, you all. Understand this. That's not our standard. And you walking around looking like a skeleton.
It's interesting. Mama Brenda is talking about structure, bone structure. There was a Muntu from the Igbo in Nigeria, and he said something that African American, something that I'd never ever thought of. He's like, why? He specifically spoke about, he was studying the most Africans that were taken to the New World, mostly Bantus, because some people were trying to debate the Fulani and all that. But he mentioned something as to why the Bantu was specifically taken, because they were the strongest compared to all the others, because they were debating whether the Nilot and all the other Kushites, why do they not have a high percentage of them? We'd never hear of them when people try to get their DNA. And he just mentioned like the Bantu, if you put the Bantu woman, the Bantu man, and the Nilot and the Kushite, watch the Bantu, how we are bold. Something that I'd never thought of, now that Mama Brenda mentioned, you know, the way we've been designed.
Interesting that he was saying that, because I heard somebody else say that was actually from the continent, actually from Congo, said that majority of us in the diaspora, they took our ancestors primarily from Congo. And you know, I don't trust these DNA. Yes, we did do them, but as Elder Jabalani said, you have to go to your altar, to the spirit, allow the spirit to tell you. So before I even did the DNA test, the Most High told me who I was long ago. So it has to match up with what the spirit told me. So when I went and researched my haplogroup that they gave me, because that's what you have to look at to see where you come from. That haplogroup, me being the female, I have to do the matrilineal. That haplogroup, it said that my ancestor, my mother of ancient, came from Congo. That's what my haplogroup said. She originated from Congo. And this was already given to me years before in a dream I had, before I even had this test. And then when they started researching my haplogroup, because they're trying to put us elsewhere and get us confused and mixed up, you all. So do we have any more questions or comment about unity? All right. No, everybody's clear, and no questions, no comments, no suggestions on what we need to do to move forward with.
Well, I have a comment, of course.
Go ahead, Mama Bantu. It's our mama, y'all.
It's powerful how Brother Jambalani talked about how we need to go about doing things correctly as a people, as Africans. There's a protocol, he's saying. There's a protocol to go to, even out here, I see it, the protocol to go to the chief and ask them permission, a protocol to go to the elders and get permission. So we, in order to facilitate this unity, we need to know our cultural rights and wrongs. Because we can't, you know, TATA Nzambi said he's going to take us from the north, south, east, and west and bring us back to the land. But we have to understand the laws and bylaws of our land. We have to understand the positions of, like I was helping the villages with substance and food and things like that. Well, you just can't walk into the village giving out things. You have to, as a protocol, you go to the elders, you talk to the elders about what you're gonna do, or the chiefs. So there's a protocol to coming home. There's a protocol, there's a right way. We can't come home doing things as Westerners.
That's right, that's right.
That's why I say when you come home, you need to learn the culture, learn the land, learn the language, learn the different tribes. I know how to speak to about 7 tribes now. Good morning. How are you? How's your family? They get so excited. Who taught you? Who taught you that? Even Brother Twaino gets shocked when I talk his language, because there's a camaraderie when we come together as brothers and sisters, and I can say hello in Kisi. I can say hello in Luya. I can say hello in Lua. I can say hello in Kakongo. I can communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is a time for us to learn our ancestral culture as things are properly done.
Yes.
And I love what the young king said, bring it to the altar.
Mm-hmm.
Some things we need to bring to the altar. We have a 24/7 conversation with our ancestors. They talk to us when we're asleep. They advise us when we're awake.
Yes.
They tell us go left. They tell us go right. They download information to us. So unity is something that's very powerful for us as a family, but also unity is to unite in the correct way. If you understand what I'm saying.
Oh yes, it's
Yes,
plain.
it is. Yes, ma'am.
To be over here in Africa, I'm comfortable because I'm a people person. I will go up to an African man, woman, child, whoever, and begin a conversation. And the first thing I ask them, your name. So what tribe are you from? So what's your tribal name?
Mm-hmm.
There's power in your tribal name. Start introducing yourself with your tribal name. So I make them tell me their tribal name. The whole name. There's power in our name. And I tell them the reason why the colonizers stripped our tongue and our language from us is because there's power in our words.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
There's no power in Henry. There's no power in Betty. There's no power in Sally. The power is in our language.
Right.
Our language, and I tell the Africans, your language shakes the ground.
Yes.
That's why they stripped you of it. Your name shakes the earth. That's why they stripped you of it.
Yes.
They stripped us from our power little by little. And Brenda, you were talking about going to the hospital and get lab tests. They had the standard of lab tests is for the Western people, not for the African people.
That's what I was telling them. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, we
know this in healthcare.
Right. I started off in the healthcare industry. So I went to this one doctor and he said, oh, we need to put you on blood pressure medicine because your blood pressure is too high. Well, I knew within, I'm not taking medicine. That's what I said to myself, because I know friends that's on blood pressure medicine for years. And of course, it comes the adverse reactions to the pill that you're taking. So I had an African doctor. I made another appointment, had an African doctor. He said, in Africa, this is a normal blood pressure. Whoa. We're different than them. He said, we're different than them.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
He said, this is normal. Don't let them tell you. He said, because their standards is for their people.
Yes.
And not only that, Mama, I know we're off, but not only is the standard for them, but the standard is also built up for revenue, because they have all these different organizations. And so it used to be that a standard blood pressure was 140/80. And some doctors still do, but the American Heart Association changed that to 140/80 to 130/70. Ask Brenda why.
Or 120/80.
Ask Brenda why they changed the standard from 140.
Why did they change it?
Because that means that it's going to be more people with a blood pressure at that level. So they will put more people on blood pressure medication. So that's more revenue for them.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I told my doctor, she was Indian. I said, give me 1 month and I will bring my blood pressure down to a normal rate. So what I did is from that point on, I start eating right, taking
you.
herbs, drinking teas, eating my fruit, eating my raw vegetables, bell pepper. And so when I went back to her about 6, 7 weeks later, she said, "What did you do?" She said, your blood pressure is like a teenager. I said, "I did what you should have taught me to do, is to eat correctly. You want to put me on a synthetic pill that's going to cause havoc in my body to what? To bring down my blood pressure to your standard?" So I said all of this to say this. There's laws and bylaws and customs that our ancestors knew that we need to learn. We need to practice. We need to talk about when we get together and understand that our ancestors were correct and the rest of the world is wrong.
Thank you.
Base.
Base. You need to say that again. Say it again.
Our ancestors were correct and everyone else is wrong.
Yes.
Base.
Base.
And my little light
it.
bulb is starting to wind down. It's supposed to stay on for 2 hours, but I really enjoyed this. You know, unity is very important in this dispensation, because we have to come together as a family. And he said that you will know them, that they're my children, by the love that they have one for another.
One for another. One for another.
One for another. That means I take care of your child the way I take care of my child. You've seen all those children coming to my door, Brenda and Darren.
A bunch of them, I saw 6 or 7 of them.
There's 14 children around here. And when they see my door open, they come and knock on the door. "Sus, Grandma, sus, Grandma," until I open the door. And I give them all a hug and a kiss, and I let them tell me everything about what's going on in their lives. But I love them the way I love my children.
And it's supposed to be like that.
Yes.
If I see a young man in the street and I talk to him and I give him an apple or whatever, and I always tell him, I said, if I give you this apple, guess what happens to me before the end of the day? He go, "What, Mom?" God blesses me rapidly, because he saw that I took care of one of his children. The love that we have from one another, we treat each other like we treat our family.
Yes.
The families that we love, the family that we love. You know, some folks in our family, we just like, Like I used to tell my mom jokingly, I used to tell my mom, "Those are your cousins." She said, "They ain't my cousins." Yeah, my cousins. I don't know where they come from.
Yep. Sound just like,
those are your people, your cousins.
Sound just like Masa, doesn't it? These are your stiff-necked people.
That's right. These are your stiff-necked people. But unity is going to take learning how our ancestors operated, how they lived, their laws, their bylaws, the understanding of one another, and being there for one another. Yes. Period.
Yes.
And our Kulus will tell us who is not for us. I'm on the streets, and he'll tell me, one of my ancestors said, "Don't go to that one over there. Don't turn, go the other way." Because Silverback always tells me, "Mama, everyone that looks like you is not your friend. Everybody that looks like you is not,
That's
not
true.
one of us." And I understand that, but we have to unite. I'm blessed by what everyone said. Brenda brought beautiful points. Saddleback, the whole panel brought beautiful points, and it's time for us to unite according to Zulu.
Yes, ma'am.
According to Zulu.
Yes, ma'am.
The book of what, Jeremiah it tells us to stand in the highways and ask for the ancient path. You're talking about our culture.
Yes.
And how we need to return. And so a lot of times they bring these up in organized religion when they're having certain events, but our people really don't take the time to think, what is the ancient path? Because it's not the way that we're on. We was talking about this the other day, Nzambi and I, excuse me, they have what they call the Old Testament and the New. And that most of the time in these organized religion, they teach from and they preach from the New Testament. But yet the Old Testament tells us, stand ye in the highways and ask for the old pathway, the old landmark, which is our ways, our culture. So they don't think about these things. So what you're saying is so true. And then there's another passage that says to stand in the highways and ask your fathers of the ancient path. And when you look at the word fathers, it's saying it translates to your ancestors of the ancient way. And we brought up some of these ancient ways. Elder Jabulani talked about UBUNTU, Ma'at. These are principles that the Europeans said that we worship and they were gods. No, these were principles, and they just use symbolism to teach us an esoteric deep teaching. That's why it talks about in the Bible.
So the question is, what is our ancient way?
Go back and ask.
What was our ancient way? Someone teach us. The ancestors will teach us the ancient way. They will, if we ask.
And they are.
If we want to know.
They are. Look at Nzambi.
How they are teaching us.
Who told him to start thinking like that?
I love it. Looking like he looks royal. Comes from royalty. They even made us take off our clothes. You know, in the churches in Africa, you cannot wear your original African garb. Cannot. Wow. Do you know that there's schools in Africa where they do not allow the young girls to braid their hair? What is this?
See, these are things that we have to change. You know, we have to change. This is why in that song, Caravan of Love, it says that we have to stand up and fight. Okay. Elder Jabulani has said that we have to, in other words, take back. We have to do it ourselves. They're not going to give it to us. We have to do it ourselves.
No, they're not.
So we will no longer stand for the rules that say our daughters cannot go to school if their hair is braided, if their hair are in locks. You know, you telling me that their hair have to be straight like dog's hair?
Yes.
Okay. No.
I said, what's the matter with your daughter? I said, what's the matter with your daughter's hair? She's 16 years old. She said, oh, they don't allow them to braid their hair in the school. I said, then take her out of the school. She's an African child.
Exactly. Homeschool her.
Take her out of there.
An African child in Africa.
In Africa.
And that's what I'm talking about. No more.
But you know,
no more.
We stood over here and we have fought and saying that is racist and discriminatory to say that we cannot keep our hair in this natural state, one, and to wear our own styles, and to say that it's unprofessional, you know, in the work environment. We have fought for that. So our family on the continent need to fight for that as well. You know, somebody, I can't remember who it was, said that we're watching you all in the diaspora, but we're watching you all on the continent. What's going on in Niger and all these countries that's coming for them, with them, and those against them? Our eyes are on you all. The children are watching you all
and applauding them.
So so we are watching to see what's going on. And when we see them coming together, what we're talking about, saying, no, we're tired of you all coming in here, taking from what was given to us that are our rights, enriching yourselves while our people are poor. We're not going to take it anymore. And we in the diaspora, we're saying,
yes. One girl told me, Mama, you need to speak up for us because we don't speak up for ourselves.
They need to learn how to speak up for
Well,
themselves.
I said,
How
wait a
we
minute.
learn how to speak up for ourselves.
I told her,
Yes, you're right.
until you speak up for yourself, it won't change.
It won't.
You go to that school and you pitch a fit and tell them, my child is an African child and she will wear her hair in braids. Have you done that? No, I don't say nothing, mama. Shame on you.
Right.
I tell you something that happened when I was in the 6th grade, Shreveport, Louisiana. They circulate this curriculum. We have to take these papers home, and they told us that we all had to cut our afros. Me and my friends had these huge afros in 5th and 6th grade. All of our mothers went to that school and told them, listen, we ain't nobody's cutting no hair. You're not putting our kids in the back of the classroom. And so that they threw that initiative out. Fast forward to the 9th grade. I'm in the 9th grade. You know, I'm a track runner and playing high school football, and they come and tell the football team that we've got to cut our hair, right? So one of our seniors, we all met in the bathroom at lunchtime, and I'm like 3 weeks into school, and I'm walking out of school after lunch because all the football players, we determined we're not going to no more classes because we're not cutting our hair. By the end of that day, they got messages to some of the senior, girlfriends to call them and let us know that we could come back to school, that we didn't have to cut our hair. They've been trying this for 50 years, 60, 70 years already. And when I see athletes like myself who's got to get cut off their head, it pains me sorely. And I know it's something I'd like to address. So I agree. We are not like them. The book that I've written is titled As We Set a Systematic Spell. In that book, I cover the differences, especially from Dr. Marimba Ani's work. I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but her work is amazing. She completely differentiates.
I know her.
Yeah, so you understand, like the ideology of the Western mindset as opposed to us Mbo people, it's light and day. It's completely different. There are no similarities, none. So I think it's certainly time for us to start echoing out to the world that not only are we Mbo, not only are we African, I suppose we're going to choose one name to focus with. We are different. Does that mean better? I would say yes, because I'm not afraid to say so. But if that would create friction, then I would say we're just different. But I know that we're different originals. And that we're better. Yes. And so there's no there's no comparison. I think that's another thing. Yes, we are completely. And you can't compare anything, right? If fingerprints on each person is different, how can there be a comparison? Men and women can't be compared. We all have individual qualities and duties to perform. So I think that for us, this time for us to bring our way of life forward in this world, it's time for that.
Yes, it is. And when Nzambi told me to speak earlier on and share what we were talking about, I failed to mention this part. It just came to me, something you said, my brother, that triggered it was, and even what I said triggered it. Not only are our eyes on Africa and Africa eyes are on us, but the world eyes and even America eyes are on us, because you all see what happened when our ancestors rose up within our brothers and sisters down there in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes,
you had
Alabama,
European people standing up saying what? It's about time. I don't blame them. So there's a scripture says that the earth is moaning and groaning, right? For us, Bana and Nzambi, Muntu to rise up. So eyes are on us right now, all.
To stand
what
up.
Are we going to do? Are we going to take our rightful place again? Because even there, people are getting tired of their abusive behavior that they are implementing and that's destroying even some of their own people. So they're looking to us because we're the original people. We're the one that the earth was given to. If we're the original people, the first oldest people on earth, and they said that the Bible says that that the earth was given dominion to man, and we're the oldest people. Well, who was that dominion given to then? Come on now, y'all. Let's keep this real.
But this deep sleep, though, this deep sleep through fear, they're killing our leaders and killing the people that want to take us forward and poisoning our food and poisoning the water and these immunizations, all these things that they forced in us. I feel it's created such a fear embodiment in us that, and we don't understand it. We have to dig ourselves out of that. That energy doesn't belong to us. That was grafted to us through this colonization and
fear.
Absolutely. It's not
Yes.
ours.
It's not. It's not of us, and our ancestors of the light and the Most High is not around such low level energy, hate, hate, fear, things of that nature. That's why when they came out with that pandemic and with these numbers that they lied, they manipulated these numbers, and we're not going to get into that because we're not talking about that, but to show you that they did that to produce and to induce fear. One, because fear, when you cause people to fear, they will panic, and you can easily manipulate and control them. Number two, it suppresses your immune system. So we were dealing with something that they put out in the waters and the food and so forth in the atmosphere to cause people to get sick. So if you induce fear, it will suppress their immune system, making them more susceptible to this disease. Now, you talked about how they poison our water, our food, et cetera, et cetera. Part of my petition is that none of their poison that they put in our food, our medicine, our water, etc., will hurt Ubuntu, but it shall turn upon their own evil heads.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
destroy them.
Yes.
It's time that we use our power in our mouth. We talked about Elder Jabulani said that somebody said our words. Mama Bantu was talking about our names and our words. Words are frequency. Words are power. So when we as Muntu begin to speak certain words, she said that it reverberates not only in the earth but in the atmosphere, in heaven, and Zulu.
Yes.
Once you speak Muntu. So we don't have to lay down anymore and take what they say. Oh, they say another pandemic is coming and such and such.
No.
You Satan, you are a
Turn it on them.
liar.
Not for us, it's not coming.
Not for us.
That's right.
Exactly.
Not for us.
Exactly.
Coming after you.
Gates' wife,
Right.
Melinda Gates, said that she see a lot of. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna finish. She see a lot of graves, in Africa. I spoke.
And it turned on her.
Those graves that you see are for you and your people, and it was more of them that died from it than our people. And y'all know that. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Use your words of power.
Yeah.
Mama Nicholas, she had put into the group chat. She said, when we accept the power we have and walk in it, that will be the end for them.
Yes.
This is why I entitled it Uniting the Messiahs. Know who you are. And you heard Elder Jabulani say it earlier. You are a Messiah. I am a Messiah. And it is time for the Messiahs to unite, to come together. The time is now. Our brothers and sisters in the diasporas uniting with our brothers and sisters on the continent. Share this video. Share it, because every ear need to hear this conversation.
Yes.
It is time for unity. It's more of us than it is of them.
Yes, there is.
We are gods. Know who you are. And all we have to do is speak. That's it.
Your heart is pure.
Yeah.
Yes. Have a pure heart. Ubuntu. I am because you are. We're one. I don't look at you as being, no, you ain't my brother, even though I acknowledge you. Hey, what's up, bruh? But when it comes down to it, that acknowledgement, would you truly receive me as your brother? You called me, bruh. Would you truly do it? Or is it just a term? Listen, we acknowledge each other as king, queen, brother, sister. I am my brother's keeper. I will stand and defend and protect my brothers and my sisters. Yes, I will.
I see.
And if the power is in my hand, I will help you as much as I can, because you are my family.
Yes.
This has been a good discussion to take back to our altar, as Elder Jabulani like to say, to our mother and our fathers.
Yes.
Our mother and our father and our altar. One, we need to identify the enemy. That's the key takeaway. that
We already
Brother
know the
Silverback,
obvious.
yeah, take out, yeah, he said we already know the obvious, so we have to take out the enemy, because everybody that looked like us is not with us nor is for us, and we need to understand that. And yes, that is painful, and that is our that's more dangerous than those that we know about that look differently from us. So we have to be mindful of that. So the key to that is listening to the inside, you know, to the spirit inside of you, your ancestors and the Most High telling you. You know, sometimes we don't want to listen to that. We think that the individual are portraying to us one way, but they're giving us what we want to see. And I've dealt with this several times in my life. Even when I was in Christianity, I heard the spirit telling me about some group of people came with Nzambi. You all know, a lot of you all know that he had a church. He used to be a pastor, and told me what they were coming to do. And they came like they were so helpful. Y'all need to do this, da, da, da. Like they was, and I heard the spirit tell me 3 times what they came to do. And I'm like, oh no, that's just Satan whispering in my ear. Exactly as the spirit told me. Now I'm Christianity. So, oh, great is he that's in me than he that is in the world. What the spirit spoke to me, it happened. Yeah. They did exactly what was spoken to me 3 times in my spirit. So we have to listen to that inner voice that is there guiding us to help us from hitting a brick wall, from help us being hurt and used, abused, taken advantage of, etc., going down the wrong road, etc. So we have to identify the enemy within the camp. Number 2, we talked about love. It was discussed about love, how there's not love amongst Muntu, among the Bantus anymore. So we need to bring back love. And there was talk about the education system. So we need to start taking our children out of these systems and start homeschooling our children, you know, until this system is destroyed. And we talk about destroying this system and rebelling against this system. That is how our ancestors were able to free themselves in a lot of things. Here in America, in Haiti, they rebel. You will never be free if you don't rebel. If you continue to go along with the status quo of them abusing you, taking advantage of you, then you will always be in the state of living as a slave. Right. So you have to rebel against these norms that they have put out of theirs, and then return back to ours. And there was a talk about our culture returning back to our ways, our culture, knowing our culture when we come back to the land. A lot of our people going back on the continent, and I'm discovering that a lot of them are not even trying to return back to the culture, to even connect with the people and learn the ways of the land, but they still are just walking in a lot of ways. They bring in mess from over here that they've learned over there. And we have to
taking their baggage from
taking it back. So we have to identify those people too, because we can't do that. Their way is not our way. Their way never worked for us. Their way caused us to be destroyed. I told Nzambi, when you look at the fact, when we walked in the principles of Mod and Ubuntu, we were ruling because the king had to operate under the spirit, under the principle and guidance of Ma'at. And when they did this, when you look at this, we were ruling you all. But once we allowed them to come in and we start teaching them and start taking on some of their ways, and then we start turning, then you see that we were living beneath who we are.
Yes.
Their ways are not our ways.
Yes.
Not even that. You know, I perhaps, you know, as I see the same things, you know, I see us going over to Africa. We're investing in lands, and it's like we didn't read the scriptures at all, you know. And I think this a decolonizing program or some kind of a decolonizing course or something could be beneficial to us. We need a thorough understanding that when we go to the continent, we are not operating as we do in the United States or in a Caribbean or in those English provinces. We're Mbote people. When there's a particular protocol for us, we have a certain way of behaving that's unlike anyone else on this planet.
Exactly.
Decolonizing. I feel that, yeah, that could be an interesting process for us to somehow make available, probably somehow.
That's a good point. How do we go about that? We need our elders on the continent that have not been corrupted to stand up and teach us. That's what we need.
That's what we need.
Yes, and
absolutely, Brenda. That's what we need. We need to be taught by the elders here. We need to be taught by the female elders, the women elders. the protocol of our land.
Yes.
There's
And
a
of our
protocol.
language, period. Of our
And
language.
I ask questions before I go to the village. I ask, what's the protocol? How do I come? What do I wear? What do I bring? How do I act? And they break it down for me. Well, you're going to meet this elder, that you bring this, you do this. I want to know the proper way to conduct myself on the land that I was stolen from. And I always tell them, I am one of the stolen children. And I'm embraced.
Yes.
And I want to learn the ways that was taken away from me.
Absolutely.
The language, I know how to cook most of the foods. I know how to start up a conversation with anyone on the continent. So there's a protocol, and I know people like the brother said that just came from America. They're in Ghana, and they're doing the same old things that they did in America. Celebrating Christmas, everybody come, we're gonna have a Christmas. I said, Christmas party? What is the matter with the? Oh, that's right. Everybody's coming, but everybody's not coming for the same purpose I'm coming from. I get it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
we're
Kosi
gonna
Kangi.
have an Easter egg hunt. Are you kidding me?
Seriously?
Yeah. And Kosi Kangi, yes, sir. I see your hand.
Yeah, I was just. Oh, go ahead, Mother Bontu. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just, just kind of sitting back and listening. And one of the things that I've noticed, I thought about this yesterday. If we, of course, take it to our altar, like Elder Jabulani said, and, talk with our mother and father, but there has to be some type, if we could get together, some type of way that those of us in the diaspora need to be reintroduced to our culture. And our ways. I see a lot of our people that have gone to the country, they're bringing a Mundeli mindset. You can come over and, man, you can make businesses booming over here. You can make a lot of money. That is not our intention, is to go over there and take advantage of our people to make money.
No, exactly.
So yeah, that's something that we need to work with. Somehow we need to be reacclimated to the culture, the ways.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very good point.
Yes. Because the point, because a lot of people, you're right, are focusing on this is the time to invest. And I agree that we need to invest in our homeland, but that's not our primary focus. Our primary focus is now trying to get us back home and break down these walls because some people that are going over there having to pay in certain countries visa fee. Why are we paying a visa fee when this is our land? Our ancestors came from that land. We have rights. So we need someone to teach us our rights. You need to go to your altar about that so you can know your rights. Because I tell them, if I said in our group, if need be, I let them know. I know that I have proof that my ancestors came from this land, from Africa, from sub-Saharan Africa. I have the proof. My grandfather 6 times removed and my grandmother 6 times removed. This is the land of my ancestors. Why do I have to pay someone foreign to this land when this is the land of my forefathers? That is not right to me. This is my inherent right. Even though I've been away from that land for 400 plus years, does not negate the fact that my ancestors have rights to this land, which means that I have inherent rights to this land. When we begin to speak like that, that is showing dominion, kingdom as well. And they have to honor that. They have to honor that because of what's inside of them and who is inside of them and who is inside of us. They know that we're not coming back ignorant of who we are and what's our rights, you all. But as long as we act ignorantly and we go over there and we say, okay, I need to buy the land to build up, instead of saying, you know what? No, I have rights to this land. I should not have to buy a bike that's mine.
That's right. That's right. Somebody steal your bike and you got to go pay them to get your bike back. Crazy. But Brenda, you're making a good point. Once we unite and come to the leaders of Africa and say, look, we are the stolen children. Let's have a talk. They will listen to us. But we have to come as a group and unite with one voice.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
I told that girl, and I love her dearly, it will take 3 mothers to go up to that school and demand the change that you stop and prevent my child from wearing her cultural hair. Right. I said, it would only take three of your voices coming together. Oh no, it's a Catholic church, and that's just the rules that they have. Well,
no. Yeah, my mother and my friends' mothers proved that to be wrong in the United States a long time ago.
Proving it today.
Let me interject here.
I told her.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Mama. I'm sorry. let me interject.
But no,
let me
tell you what I told her. When the diaspora come home, this crap is stopping. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yes, it's not even going to happen. It won't happen. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to wear and how I'm going to wear my hair. I'm going to do. You're not going to tell me nothing.
Thank you, Tama.
No. And it's only going to take me to say it. I don't need 3 people.
They're afraid of the colonizers. They are afraid of the colonizers today.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. This is why these evil entities don't want us to return home. But see, they can't stop it. They cannot stop it, and they will not stop it. We are returning home. And not only are we returning home, but we're returning home to unite with our brothers and sisters on the continent. And guess what? They got things to teach us, but we got things to teach them. One of those things to teach them is to teach them how to stand up.
Yes.
Strong.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Stand up.
Stand up.
Yes. Stand up to them and let them know no more are we allowing you to put your foot on our neck.
Yes.
No more. You're not holding us down any longer.
That's right.
No more. We're done with your structures.
Yes.
We're done.
Yes.
So
with that said,
we have the power.
We have the power.
Yes, we do have the power. Yes.
We do.
So with that said, I decree and I declare that unity will take place between our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and on the continent.
Yes.
We shall walk as one, we shall be one. The messiahs in which we are will return.
Yes.
And we will do exactly what we were placed on this earth to do.
Yes.
This earth is our kingdom.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Mama NDOMBE.
Yes.
What had been moaning and groaning for a long time.
A long time for her
for
children.
the return of her children.
Wow.
And now she see her children rising up, standing up and saying, no more. We're coming home.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
It is so. It is so. It is so.
It is so. Bashe. Bashe. Bashe.
On that note, on that declaration, we can end that there. As we all have said, Bashe to that. This has been awesome, you all.
You know, we may have to do a part 2. We may have to, because
I think so.
There were some things that was said that we need to truly touch on. So I want to thank the panel, each and every one of you. I love you all so much. Queen Shandia, Mama Brenda want to know, do you have any questions?
A comment? We forgot. I meant to ask her earlier before we ended. Is she still on? Or has she
I think she left.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but like I said, I think we're going to have to do a part 2 to this.
Yes, I think so. My lights are back on. Did you see my lights are back on?
Yes.
I love
Family,
Africa.
please,
I love Africa.
That's what.
please share this
we-
video. Please share this video
I will
and
share it.
get it. Somebody, please put this in the hands of the leaders.
Okay.
Put it in their hands and let
Okay.
them know we're ready to come home. Open the
Okay.
doors. It is time to unite.
Okay.
Yes.
Love you greatly. All right. Siemi.
Siemi.
Yeah, me.